Hello and welcome to Breathworks with Joy. I am outside on this beautiful fall afternoon and I thought what a wonderful opportunity to share this autumn themed brain dance sequence with you. It's a fun way to incorporate the body and the brain as well as engaging our imaginations while building new neural pathways. I love sharing this sequence with my students, but I get as much out of it as they do. See, these elements of movement are based in primitive reflexes that not only boost learning, but they help support behavioral and emotional states. So let's begin. Crisscross applesauce spoons in the bowl. Like all of my practices, I always start with the breath as a way to really ground our awareness in the present moment. So just like all of these colorful leaves on the ground, as we exhale, I want us to imagine that we're trying to blow the leaves across the grass. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and then we're going to exhale out through the mouth, as if we were the wind blowing the leaves. Inhale through the nose. And exhaling softly out through pursed lips. Inhaling the cool, crisp air through the nostrils. And blowing it out through the mouth. If you feel comfortable and safe enough to close your eyes, you might do that. One more cycle of breath, making a total of 5 breaths. I hear a train a-comin'. We're gonna move into our second element, tactile movement. So we're going to imagine our fingertips like raindrops pitter-pattering on the crown of our head. And then it's going to come around to the side of our skull and to the back of our skull and down to the base of our skull and back around. Just stimulating all those nerve endings. Coming to the forehead above the brow and around to our temples. Below the eyes onto the cheekbones, and right below the nose, above the upper lip. And then I'm going to come around below my bottom lip, and then I'm going to kind of just come around to the jaw. I'm going to come to the tops of my shoulders. It's whistling at us. Come to your collarbones, right below your collarbones. Yeah. And then I'm going to take one hand down the arm towards the pinky side of my hand, and then from my thumb up the arm, and then I'm going to do the other side. Are you ready to wave to the people on the train? Wave to the people on the train. And then coming back to the chest and down to your bellies. And from your bellies onto your ribs. I feel like a gorilla when I do this. And then onto your backs. All the way down towards your sacrum and to your hips. And then I'm going to extend my legs out and I'm going to reach down towards the pinky side of my toes. Around to the big toes and up the inner leg. Maybe do that once more. Down the outer leg, to the pinky, around to the big toe, and then to the belly, and all the way back up to the crown of the head. And then I'm going to sweep. Like the sweeper that's going to be following this train, I'm going to sweep all of the rain off of me. One more. Sweep it away. Very good. We're going to come into our core and distal movements. So we're going to squeeze in as if we were an acorn. Get really small and tight, squeeze to the core. And then as I inhale, I'm going to get really big, almost like a tree. And maybe even go all the way down on the grass and extend your arms and your legs away from one another. And then squeeze into the core, squeeze tight. Exhale, inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze in tight. Inhale, stretch your arms and your legs. 2 more, squeeze in tight. Inhale, squeeze in tight, last one. Inhale, and then squeeze your knees into your chest. And this acorn's gonna begin to rock because somebody is trying to move us. Who could be moving the acorn? Well, I think it's the squirrel as we move into our head and tail movements. So begin to wag your tails. And as you wag your tails, maybe look over your shoulder towards your tail. Can you get your head and your tail to actually touch? Well, if you can, please let me know. But side to side, looking over the shoulder towards your tail, head to tail movement. And now we're going to begin to move towards upper and lower body movement. So I'm going to curl my toes under, and like a bear, I'm going to walk my paws back here. And I'm going to come to stand, and I'm going to pick some apples. And I'm going to reach up as high as I can and come down and put it into my basket. Reach and down. Now, what kind of apples do you like? Do you like those sweet, red, delicious apples? Do you like those sour, kind of Granny Smith apples, or a combination of the both to make a nice apple pie, or an apple fritter, a caramel apple? How do you like to eat your apples? One more each side. And then I'm going to stay down here, and I'm going to begin to rivet like a frog. Rivet, rivet, 2 more, rivet, and 1 more, rivet. And then I'm going to move into my whole body movement as I come back into my bear. And you can choose a different animal. Maybe you want to be that squirrel or a fox or even a frog. What kind of animal do you think of when I say autumn? Are you a monarch butterfly heading back down towards Mexico? What is your animal gonna feed on? Are they storing their food for the winter months? Are they gonna hibernate? And when you're ready, come down. And we're gonna finish off our practice by lying on our backs, imagining that we are one of these colorful leaves, just resting now on the ground. So as you come down, make yourself nice and comfortable, and just inviting the body to sink. Just like these leaves on the ground that will eventually decompose and fertilize the soil. Can we just let our bodies and our brains relax here? I am noticing that my heart is beating rather fast from all of the movements, the talking, the fun. And now I'm giving my heart an opportunity to slow down. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your toes and your fingers like the leaves on the branches moving in the wind. You can take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, hug the knees in as you roll onto your side. As we close our time together with a moment of gratitude. It's one of the wonderful gifts of this season is it reminds us to practice gratitude. So I want to thank you for sharing this time with me, and I hope that this practice can be of service for you and perhaps the children in your life. I wish you a blessed day and a wonderful autumn.